Hello and welcome to this edition of Consider This. I'm your host, Charles Lake, and this is episode 16, Microplastics 2, Microplastics in Your Health. Okay, and I was going through 1440 back in August, and I seen this misleading saying that the FDA says microplastics aren't harmful. We'll get to that, okay? So let's get into it and let's start looking at it. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our video so we can grow our constituency. And if you find anything that's helpful to you with all the downloads or whatever, please consider donating to our work. Okay, before we start, I have these two links here, and I want to make it extremely clear. I was extremely disappointed when I went to Gemini, Google Gemini AI. It blocks all the references to Trump. If you just put in Trump, you don't get exactly what you're looking for. Let's put it that way. They only tell you the good things, not all the bad things. And with that being said, with the microplastics and everything, it's my opinion that in just living this, because I was poisoned while unloading food product at a food warehouse, and the food product was the polystyrene food containers. And we used to haul plastic and everything. I'm not a doctor. I just an old truck driver. I used to be a truck driver. And I was poisoned while unloading these food containers out of asbestos trailers, which is totally legal to this day. Okay, now getting back to the page. I put in for AI, is RFK Jr. competent in his job? And this is what I mean about if we put in something, everybody knows that he really sucks at his job, and he's looking to kill as many people as he can. And for some reason, he hates children, because that's who he's going after. So if you wanted to read this, you go ahead. All the links are clickable. There we go. So, like I said, all the links are clickable, so you can go into it. And I also wanted to know who the HHS secretary was. Not the head of, no, RFK Jr. is the boss over this guy. And this guy here, he seems to have a pretty good resume, but he's still a supporter of the things that RFK does. Never mind, he's a renowned surgeon, scientist, and yeah, they make it look good. Like I said, they make it look good. So, and I put in, all this here for you. Now let's get down to the 1440. Now, as of 2024, the FDA claims insufficient evidence that microplastic pose any human health risk. Now, we all know that's crazy, because diabetes epidemic has been made worse and worse through the plastics that are encasing our food, or the food containers that are made out of plastic or polystyrene, are just destroying our human bodies. Now, if we go back here, I don't believe 1440 believes that that was true, and that I believe they believe it was misinformation. So, and they give you some stuff here that go over it. But if the the uh, the background article is really worth reading, and I highlighted a couple spots here. But we know that in 2018, the CDC did a study on the diabetes and said 1 in every 3 Americans is either pre-diabetic or diabetic. Now, back in 2004, I wrote a paper, and at that time, in 2004, 1 in every 8 people were either pre-diabetic or diabetic. So as you can see, between 2004 and 2018, we are losing the battle quickly. And the CDC, and we don't expect the CDC to do any kind of statistics on diabetes until after Satan and his demons are gone. That's what I call Trump. I call him Satan, because he's looking to kill people. Microplastic can similarly block nutrition and water pathways in plants. They also accumulate in the arterial plaque as and makes it higher risk for people with heart attack and stroke. And I've told people that I have a problem with the reading, because I have, ever since I've been in school. So I read a lot, but I have to take my time. And I'm not taking my time today. So we can find out where all the plastic dust is coming from, and so forth and so on. And going back to the website here, I asked if Donald Trump is looking to poison people and make their life shorter. And that's what happens with diabetes and things. So here's is Trump administration doing things quietly killing people? Let's bring this up to speed here so we can read it. Reports from independent research groups, nonprofit organizations, and news outlets allege that recent and past Trump administrations have pursued policies that lead to unavoidable deaths. Avoidable deaths. Sorry, not unavoidable. Avoidable. I'm adding letters now. These deaths are not simply typically direct, which that's diabetes and all these diseases that attack us. And diabetes is one problem, but then you got problems from the diabetes. Diabetes attacks your liver, your kidneys, your brain, and it just deteriorates your body. I've had diabetes now for over 30 years, going on 33, 34, something like that. I was diagnosed shortly after being poisoned, like 2 or 3 months after being poisoned, April of 1992. I was poisoned, and then it was right around June, July, I was diagnosed with diabetes. Repealing the Affordable Care Act, so forth. So this here will give you, I didn't go through and highlight a lot of the stuff in anything from here down, because I've been told by people they're looking to to read it and not just read what I highlight. So I've stopped highlighting some of this stuff, but this has a lot of really good information, and it well, this one here comes from the American Association for Diabetes, and it by fentanyl, which is part of the plastic. They use this to make the plastic soft, and I mean, it's all over the place. They say they took it out of the baby bottles, but they line your cans with it, so you feed your kids out of the can. Your kids are getting it that way. The register receipts are BPA, so if you let not all of them, some of them are printed, but most of them are BPA. It's a chemical reaction when the keys hit the paper. It brings out the letters. So if you let your kids play with it, they get it all over them. So I have, given that diabetes is the leading cause of death in the U.S., it is critical to understand even the smallest factors that can contribute to the disease. We're surprised. Reducing BPA exposure using stainless steel, they can actually tell when you stop using BPA. I'm not sure if it takes about a month or so, where so we can turn this around, but it's gonna take a lot, and it's gonna take making food containers that don't poison us. And that's not gonna happen over Satan's rule here, because he brung back plastic straws because he don't like paper ones. Never mind, he's a lot older than I am, and I'm an old man. So if you have diabetes and whatnot, this is a good place to get information. Have you? I hate it when I go to the doctors, because they look at me like I got three heads. I tell them I hauled a lot of plastics. I'm having respiratory problems, and then part of it's from the asbestosis, from hauling the asbestos. But others, nobody knows, and nobody knows why I had the heart attacks. I've had 5 heart attacks. I've had 3 catheterizations. That's where they went in twice through my leg at St. Peter's Hospital in Albany, New York, and they put the thing up through your body, and they go right into your heart, and they got the camera on there, and they tell me my heart was pristine. And then in 2022, before I left, they wanted me to get another catheterization where they went through my right arm. And again, no problems. Yet I've had 5 heart attacks, or what they perceive to be heart attacks. I know they hurt like hell, and you don't want to go through them. They also don't know why I had the 7 migraine-induced strokes, because I never had migraines before I was poisoned. And then I had a constant migraine for 8 years, from 92 to 2000. Actually, halfway through 2000 before it started clearing up and the medicine started really working. I was taking all different kinds of migraine medication, experimental and everything else, and before 2000. and from 92 to 2000, and they couldn't get them to go away, and all of a sudden they just disappeared. Um, they done an MRI of my brain in 2021 before I left New York, and they tell me that my brain hasn't even shrunk yet, which that's where dementia and Alzheimer's comes in, is when your brain shrinks when you get older. That's part of the reason, the plaque in your brain, everything. Like I say, I'm not a doctor. I just know what happened to me, and I'm always looking to see what's next on the horizon for my health. That's why I do all this research, and I put it out there because I figure everybody should have this information. Because if you don't have the information, it especially when you need it. There was nothing out when I started having all these problems after I was poisoned in April of '92. I went to all the government sites, and they have a little bit here and a little bit there, but you know, they quote the medical studies that have been done in a little paragraph, and then it's like, man, oh man, is it ever hard trying to get the information. So I decided that I was going to go and get the information, and a lot of the information is on my website, which, let's see how fast oh, okay, this comes up. And this will bring it back to the page where we're at. And you can go down well, we're working on 17. I haven't put it up yet. So this will get you in here, and you can go look at my old YouTube clips from when I was over in New York. And these are the ones, some of these were from, I put something up on Patreon and it didn't work out so well. So some of these don't have all the links that others do. But this is information that you could use. And I hope this was informational to you. I think that if we keep after this, and once we get somebody in the White House that actually cares about the people in the United States, that things will change, and we'll start getting scientists back, because Satan's already got rid of most of the scientists that actually help people, and he's keeping idiots around like RFK Jr., who's one of his demons. So I hope this was very helpful. I hope that, especially if you're starting to have heart attacks and you can't get a catheterization, they say there's nothing wrong with you, that you bring this to your doctor. My cardiologist kind of looks at me, like I say, with three heads. Now I have to see a pulmonologist here in California. The last one I seen was in New York. But since I got over here and the air is drier, I've been breathing a lot better. Over in New York, I couldn't walk more than maximum 200 feet unless I was leaning on a shopping cart or something. But over here, I've been walking 2-3 miles a day, but I'm starting to slow down. It's starting to get hard to breathe when I walk that far. So I'm hoping to be around for a little bit longer and keep this information flowing, so that people can get ahead of their medical situations. I thank you for listening. Stay safe. Try to stay away from Satan's demon army, ICE. And let's resist. Take care and have a good day.